Over the years, our family's had a share of health problems.
So prescriptions are a part of our life.
Before we went to the big box store.
We both thought it would help us save. But with the long lines and impersonal service, filling prescriptions became a chore. That's when a friend recommended D&H.
Now Tristan knows our prescriptions. Brenda always helps us find the right vitamins. And after Dad's fall, Monica's been a real expert with all our home medical needs. All without the lines.
Trust and service.
That's our D&H.
Good morning on this Thursday, September the 27th. Glad you joined us. Welcome to Radio Friends. We're going to talk today a little bit about Tigers on Track and then a Harvest Hootenanny fundraiser that is coming up. And if any of you are my age, you may remember the old television show called Hootenanny. Nobody in the studio remembers Hootenanny. Oh. Let's start first of all with Jan Todd, RN, MU Healthcare. You're a nurse over at Children's Hospital,
yes,
right?
Yes, I'm an advanced practice nurse there, yes.
All right, and you're here to tell us about Tigers on Track. What is that?
Tigers on Track is a new clinic that's been established at the Children's Hospital for children and their families to so that we can have them live healthier lives. Children who are overweight or maybe have obesity. And it's not only designed for the children, it's designed for the family. We want to include the entire family.
When does a person go from being just overweight to obese?
So we look at height and weight, and then we can calculate what we call a body mass index. And so a child who is 85% overweight, by looking at that number, and it's arranged by age and sex, they're considered overweight. But if you go to the 95th percentile and you're over that, you're considered obese.
And how big of a problem do we have, not just locally, but nationally in our country?
So in the United States, the obesity problem has increased for adults it's tripled.
Tripled?
Since 1980. So
tripled? Mm-hmm. And what about for kids?
For kids, it's also tripled. In the state of Missouri, we are ranked 11th as the highest number of children who are obese, and probably 1/3 of our children are obese and 1/3 of our adults are obese.
So we're number 11 in the country for being overweight.
States, yes.
Why do you feel this has happened?
Well, I think part of it is that children don't have enough physical activity during the day. We are eating out more and not eating at home. Some families just don't understand the concept of having exercise and having good meal plans,
right,
and making good decisions.
You know, now I know I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to sound like an old fogey, but when I was growing up, we didn't have an exercise plan.
No.
But I had chores that I had to do every single day.
That's exactly right.
I had to get out and I had to work in that garden. I had to cut the grass. I helped my father cut wood. There was not time for an exercise plan. The exercise was just staying active.
Yes, and you were working by doing those chores. And our children don't do that now. Just over the years, even in the schools, there's less PE in the schools. Parents don't feel like their children can be safe going outside. When I was growing up, my mother would feed us breakfast and say, go outside and play, and we come back in at noon and eat.
Times have changed.
Yes.
They have changed.
Yes.
So with Tiger Track, we're just about out of time here, but if people want more information about Tiger Track, what can they do?
They can contact the Children's Hospital.
Okay.
They can call 882-6979. Families can refer themselves, or they can have their pediatrician or family doctor refer them for an appointment in this clinic.
Okay, it's called Tiger Tracks, and it's available at University Children's Hospital.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nurse Jan Todd.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Okay. Now, I turn to Billy POLANSKY, and Billy is with us from the Columbia Center for Urban Agriculture, and you're doing work outside. which is good. But you're here to tell us about a Harvest Hootenanny fundraiser. What is that?
Hootenanny, this is our 3rd annual Harvest Hootenanny. It's located at our urban farm, which is in central Columbia. It's off of College Avenue.
Okay, so explain, what is the urban farm?
Well, it is an educational site and a commercial farm. So people come there and learn how to garden, get comfortable being in a garden setting. We have workshops out there. And all the produce we grow there, we sell, which funds the program.
So how did your garden do this year?
The garden did all right, but the water bill hit us pretty hard.
My garden was the worst garden I have ever had in my entire life. And I had it all set up perfectly. I had the soaker hoses, I had the mulch, the straw, but the heat just killed me. There was nothing, and I think the only thing that did very well in my garden were the insects. Their metabolism just took off with the hot weather. Did you notice that in your urban garden?
We didn't have too much problem
with insects.
We had some.
You sent them all out my way, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Okay. We did. We knew that.
That I wanted the insects, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the Harvest Hootenanny is when again?
It's Saturday, September 29th. So it's this Saturday.
This coming Saturday, and it is a fundraiser. How are you raising the money?
So what we're going to have there is there's going to be a big Missouri raised meal. There's going to be music and games for the kids and garden tours, and there's just a suggested donation at the door.
Okay.
There's also going to be a live and silent auction. There's going to be lots of good items, some local art and gift certificates and movie passes and fun things like that.
You got everything going on. And tours of the garden too.
Yeah, the whole garden will be open. You can come and see the chickens.
How many acres have you got?
We have about 1 1/3 acres, and it's like smack dab in the middle of Columbia.
1 1/3 acres, and you've got a garden, and you've got chickens?
We've got chickens, and we've got bees, and we've got tons of vegetables, and it's going to be really fun.
Well, how are you going to do the Hootenanny and not get all over the garden?
Well, something we're doing new this year is we are closing the street in front of our farm.
Okay.
So
you're going to have a Hootenanny in the street.
And we still have some grassy areas too. So you'll be able to eat your meal like on grass at the farm and look at the vegetables and see the sunset.
Okay, so the Hootenanny is not going to tramp all over the garden.
Well, we hope not.
Okay, and the suggested donation is at the door.
Yeah, suggested donation of $5, $10, or $20, whatever you feel you can afford. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, and I wish you the very best with the the Columbia Center for Urban Agriculture Harvest Hootenanny fundraiser tomorrow. Okay, in Central Columbia. Billy Polansky, thanks so much for coming by. Pleasure having you here. Tomorrow, Friday, Maria Trevor will be here. She's bringing along that beautiful harp and give us some nice, relaxing music. Our program directed by Travis McMillen of the Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio is Pat Akers, KBIA. Our floor director is Danny Matteson, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. And to watch this program or listen to it, kbia.org. Bye-bye.